Hey you guys, it's me Adam Sean here with another video. So this video is going to be discussing something that I really feel needs to be discussed more in nursing. This is something that, from my consensus of all my nursing friends and colleagues, everybody has experienced. And it is some type of violence and assault in nursing. The reason for this video is basically because not too long ago, Tennessee passed a law that if you assault a nurse, you will be held. It is a felony charge now in Tennessee that if you assault a nurse. I don't know if it's specific to nurses or just healthcare professionals in general, but I know that because I read the bill and it said if you assault a nurse, you will be charged with a felony. And good. Like, how dare you? So I'm gonna start out with a story that happened to me some years ago. So I was LPN. This was like maybe 6 years ago. I was an LPN. I was working at the nursing home. My shift had started. I was working second shift. It was the 2 to 10 shift. I was coming in. I was walking up to the nurse's station, and I remember the nurse that I was relieving. She just looked really flustered, And you know how you can kind of look at your outgoing nurse to kind of see how his or her day went, and she was just like over it. So I went up to her, I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" While I'm asking her what's going on, I can hear like commotion, like somebody fussing in one of my patients' room as I walked up the hallway. So the nurse was like, "Oh my God, this family member got here this morning, has been bitching and complaining all day long." And I was just like, "Oh gosh, here we go. It's a Saturday." I'm just like, "Oh gosh." I was hoping for a chill shift, and I have to deal with this. So after me and the nurse reported off, we counted our cart, and I'm on duty now. Sat down at the nurse's station. This family member came to the nurse's station just irate and just complaining about just silly stuff, or what I consider to be silly, like the floor is not being swept, or like the water pitcher needed to be filled or something like that. So I went to the patient's room, looked at the floor, was like, I'll get the maintenance guy to come sweep, and I'll get him some fresh ice water, talking about the patient. So it just seemed that she never was just content with whatever I was telling her. It almost was like she was trying to get a reaction out of me. And she was becoming annoyed that I wasn't becoming annoyed. So I went back to the nurse's station, sat down for a little bit. So me and the nurse station is split. I have one half of the hallway, and my other co-nurse has the back half of the hall. So it's two of us at the nurse's station at this time. She comes up to the nurse's station wanting to know medical information about the patient. Those of you guys who work in a nursing home know we pretty much know all of our family members that come and visit our patients. This lady I had never seen before. The patient she was talking about was her brother, and this patient's mother is his responsible party, or his POA. So I let her know. I was like, "Hey, I can't tell you any information. I can give his mom a call and let her know, and she can okay for me to tell you things." And she was just like, then she immediately became irate. This doesn't make any sense. This is my brother, and you mean to tell me you can't tell me anything about his medical condition? And I'm just like, "No, ma'am, I can't. Legally, I can't." So she's yelling and screaming at this point at me at the nurse's station. Little old me. I'm like, "Ma'am," at this point, she's starting to curse. At this point, we have patients that are in the hallway. I have other family members that are in the hallway. I said, "Ma'am, you need to calm." Well, I didn't say you need to calm down, because they say you're not supposed to say that. I said, "Ma'am, I need you to lower your voice. Let's go to the patient's room and let's discuss this. I'm not going anywhere. You're going to tell me what's going on with my brother." And I'm just like, "Okay." So those of you guys who work in a nursing home know that they're like, it's a Saturday, there's no management in the building. I am the charge nurse for the unit, so this is my issue. We didn't have unit managers, we didn't have RN supervisors. This was my issue. So my co-nurse who was working with me at the nurses station, shout out to him if he's watching this video. We talked about this the other day. He gets upset and just like, you need to leave. You need to leave. She comes behind the nurses station, gets in his face, like this close from his face, starts yelling and screaming at him, like, do something. Are you gonna hit me? Do something. At this point, I'm like, no, ma'am. We not doing this today. I said, ma'am, I'm calling the police. I grabbed the phone at the nurse station. She grabs my wrist and shakes the phone out of my hand. So at this point, she has laid hands on me. So I'm just like, I snatch away from her. I tell in a very stern tone, tell her that don't you ever put your hands on me again. So at this point, I tell one of the CNAs that was standing at the nurse station trying to calm her down to go call the police, or I need another nurse over here besides us two, because we need to get the police up here. So during this time, she's yelling and screaming, call the MF police, call the MF police. Screaming at me, cursing at me, has put hands on me, and is still behind the nurse's station being very physically aggressive to me and my other nurse that was working with me. So long story short, because I'm not trying to have this be very long, the police get there. She's still in the patient's room. I tell the officer who came to the nurse station that this family member is disrupting the tranquil environment that we are trying to create, and I need her to leave. Like now, like there is no, I don't care that she's calm now, she needs to leave. So the police officer tells her like, hey, you need to leave. You've put hands on the nurse, and all these other things. And at that point, I should have pressed charges, honestly. So after that happened, after she left, of course, after we called the police, we let the on-call supervisor know, or the on-call nurse, who was ever on call, that you're supposed to kind of let them know what's going on. Let them know, like, we've called the police. There's an RA family member here that has been physically and verbally abusive to us. She was like, oh, okay, I'll be up there in a little bit. So by the time she got there, of course, the lady had left and blah, 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 blah. The coming Monday, because it was like, this happened on a Saturday, of course, no management was in the building. This coming Monday, the director of nursing at the time and the administrator at the time called me to the office. They wanted to know what happened, told them what happened, and was like, oh, we're sorry that happened, and blah, 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 blah. So it got back to me that, now they didn't say this directly to me, but it got back to me that one of the managers said that me calling the police was overkill. Now, mind you, they didn't say this to me because I would have just probably flipped out. Like, how dare you tell me that me calling the police on an irate family member was not the right call? Like, how dare you? But whatever the case is. So this is only one of my experiences with just very hostile and irate family members. And not only family members, we're talking about patients. I have been verbally assaulted and mentally abused by patients and family members my 14 years of nursing. This is nothing new. And every time that this issue is brought up to management, there has always been some way to diminish or say, well, what could you have done better in this situation? Going back to terms of customer service. And at this point, if you are a family member coming into the hospital or the nursing home, there is no excuse for you to be verbally abusive or even, and sometimes physically abusive to the nurses that are on staff. And management needs to take accountability to hold the family members and or patients accountable for the way they treat the nursing staff. I have been called out of my name. I have been called a nigger. I have been called a foreigner because some ignorant person didn't know if I was white or black or what I was. I have been called a fag by a family member. This happened probably about 2-3 years ago when I was first started at the hospital. A family member called me a fag. So, this is something that is plaguing the nursing community, and not only from family members, sometimes alert patients are completely and utterly rude and disrespectful to nurses at the bedside. So I say all that to say this. I'm glad that Tennessee passed this law that assaulting a nurse would be a felony. But management needs to take accountability for the way that people treat their nursing staff. There is no excuse for some of the physical, verbal, and emotional abuse I've had to endure working at the bedside these past 14 years. So that's what that video is about, you guys. Let me make sure I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Yeah, that's it. You guys share your stories in the comments below and let me know about your experiences and how you guys dealt with it. I try to remain professional, but us as nurses, we're human too. So, we hurt and things hurt us, and we're doing the best we can, especially in this climate of the pandemic that we just all survived. Anybody that's coming into a hospital or nursing home or any healthcare facility that is being less than nice to the nursing staff is criminal, in my opinion. It's criminal. So that's all, you guys. Let me know. Let me know about you guys' experiences with different issues you guys have come in contact with during your nursing career. Follow me on Instagram at Adam Deshawn, and also follow my daily inspiration page, Freedom in This Village. I'll put it all down below. Thank you guys. Share these videos, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. See you soon. Bye-bye.